What's going on, guys? Welcome to another Sunday. Welcome to another Vampy Book Club. You know what this is. You know how we do. I'm not going to do this without my main man, Del Man. What's going on?
What up, dude? What's going on?
Not much. Do you remember what issue we're going over? I don't remember. I'm just kidding. This is going to be our new skit for the beginning. Hey, I don't remember what issue we're going over. Nah,
Nice.
yeah, we're going over issue 11. One of Frank's last paintings, or one of his last paintings that he did for Warren, like for a long while until later. But this painting gets used again for either creepy or eerie. I think he used it for all three of them though. I think he used it for creepy, eerie, yeah, and vampy. So he used it for creepy, I think 90 91, I think. And then I think, or either eerie 91. It was either one of them. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. But one of Frank's more famous paintings that he used for, his uh his posters and stuff like that. And a lot of people know this lady was Scythe. Uh Present day, what you guys are gonna be knowing it for, if for the younger generation, the younger kids, Supreme drop with Frazetta girls. I got the T-shirt on right now, but I can't really turn my back. But, and you probably seen it on my Instagram anyways a couple times. So
Yeah, it was Creepy 91 was the other one.
yeah. So it was Creepy 91, and then but this came first, and the painting was not 69. So supposedly this thing was in 69, was created in 69, and then it didn't come out until 71. So I'm guessing he was either holding off um, uh, James Warren and Frazetta were holding off until the green the story, the green plague was created, then released it. I'm assuming that's what they were waiting for. I'm assuming that's what they're waiting for, and then put it on the. I mean, that's what Warren's known for, man. To put repeat on covers. If he likes the cover a lot, guess what? He paid for it. You're gonna get it again for another
Right.
issue.
Exactly. So, which is cool. I noticed that between eerie, creepy, and the Vampirella, like I think
Yeah,
there was like more than there was a couple of there was a couple of issues that were like
yeah.
they
Trust
had.
me. Even on the Vampy ones, towards the 100s is when he starts reusing covers. You're like, wait a minute, I already get. You know how irritating that was in the beginning when I didn't understand how these magazines work, and I freaking went to go buy covers, and I didn't. If you didn't look at the number, you would think it's the same cover, like 23, and I think 100, I forgot, 100 and something is the same cover. So it's like, if you didn't pay attention and just looked at covers, you would be buying either doubles, or either not knowing and then not buying it at all and thinking you have a double.
Hmm.
But so you guys can get a better look at this cover. Me and they'll have it, but here's the better look at it. Lady was Scythe. So that's the better look at the cover. And then the preliminaries came up, and Dell even has it. So let me make Dell bigger so he can show his copy off. Yeah, it's nice and fancy.
Exactly, nice and fancy.
Yeah. And then so it came up in 2004. So the preliminary, so the actual like idea of the painting, the preliminary came up once in 2004. I showed Dell this already, and Dell was you guys would see how the price increases from 2000 because I think he didn't pass away until 2010, so he was still around when this preliminary came up in '04. So you yeah, so that's you know what I mean. That was probably what it was. He was still around, and then it came back up on 2013. So it went up another. What'd you say, Dale? It went up another couple hundred, or a couple thousand, because
Yeah,
it was at
so
it was at 2,000 something.
so 3,000. It was like 3,001. So from 2,875 to 5,975. So it was $3,100 difference.
Yeah,
Between that's why how much it went up.
yeah, in 9 years. That was in 9 years, and that's just the preliminary. Just imagine if the original comes up, what that would go for.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this is just and then it came up again last year in March, and it sold for 18. That's a lot. That's
Yeah.
that's a freaking increase.
Yeah, it's from $5,975 to
Yeah,
$18,000. So that's a little $12,000 difference. $12,000 $25.
dude. Whoever bought it for this and then sold it for this.
Yeah.
But the guy in 2004 is probably kicking himself in the ass right now.
Yeah, either way, they still walked away with the money.
Yeah, but they all still walked away with money. But if this guy, whoever originally sold it, see and goes to look back up on Heritage and sees what it's sold for now.
Yeah, so they have to pay the auction. They have to pay the auction. You have to pay Heritage Auction some fees
Yeah.
for selling to them, but they still walk away with a little bit of profit.
Yeah, they still walked away with profit though. But imagine how much he had to pay them. So he probably didn't make the whole two. So he probably, we'll say fees and stuff like that. He will probably walked away. What do you think? He walked away with $1,000 or $9,000, you think?
So no, he walked away with more than 1,000. I think with auction houses, it depends on the auction house, but they'll take at least 10%.
Also, okay, so 10% of whatever that was. So okay,
yeah, they'll take at least 10%. It just depends on Heritage Auction and what their fees are like.
right. Well, let's just say 10. Let's just outright 10%.
10%. So Heritage took 10% of that. Heritage took $287.
So he still walked out with
a couple $1,000. So.
Yeah. So, and then 5, so another 10%. Yeah, so he still walked. He probably walked away with 4, maybe.
So he still walked away with 5,000, and like about $5,400 roughly on that one after 10% off.
And then this one, same thing, 10% of that. But they still walked away with a lot. They still walked away with a lot.
Yeah, so with this one, just take away $1,800, which is 10% of that, and then,
right.
And that's I figured 10% is like on the low end of what Heritage charges for the auction fees.
Right. So, we're just going by like saying maybe
it's a guesstimate.
Yeah, I get estimate if whatever it is, 10%.
Yeah.
I'm guessing I'm honestly thinking it's what you think it is. It's 10. I bet you it's 10.
Yeah, so it just depends on the auction. I think sometimes some of them are like a little bit more.
Right.
But let's see here. But that's why I'm just But that's what I'm thinking on that. So
yeah.
But you're still walking away with a little bit of money.
Yeah, but they're all still walking away with a little bit of money. But I could just imagine what the original guy bought the original for, because the original is not with the family. The original is in the personal collection. So I can imagine what the guy originally bought it for, because I saw what the 70s and the 60s and 70s were what they were charging for these things. He wasn't charging a lot, because he one of the creepy covers, what was it? I'm trying to think of the cover name. what do you call it? Executioner.
Hmm.
Executioner in the 60s was only sold for $800
Huh.
back then. But $800 back then was a lot. But I'm just saying that's what it sold for. You know what I mean? Like 800. So the original painting. So it's like, you know what I mean? I can imagine what whoever bought this one bought it for, personal collection wise, But Lady with Scythe is one of my favorites, Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's a very cool one. I like it too. It's like
yeah,
it's a cool one.
yeah. I mean, a lot of his stuff I like. It's just, but this one just says sword and sorcery in general.
Yeah.
So now let's get the Vampirella now, the Vampirella story, since me and you were talking about it. What did you think this time around of Tom Sutton's writing and Archie Goodwin? I mean, Archie Goodwin's writing and Tom Sutton's art again.
Well, I think Sutton's artwork. I like the detail, and then like the how the like this the so like the title page for the story, which what we have on the screen. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought every time I look at it, every time I read it, every time I looked at this, I had two ideas for this. Had the cosplayers try to recreate it, and then since you can digitally put eyes and stuff like that, that'd be kind of cool to see. One of the girls actually do it this way, and then have little weird designs in the back and stuff like that. And I thought about it on a T-shirt.
Yeah, I could see on a T-shirt and make a nice poster. If it was
right,
I think it'll be cool if it was like in color.
Right.
Like if it was a nice full color without, like for example, without the title.
Yeah, and then without ruining, the black and white of it. When you put the color in it, you know how sometimes when you add color to certain things, it kind of kills the aesthetic of it.
Yeah, but I think this one would have looked cool.
What would benefit from it? I think.
Yeah, especially with all the kind of like the cool things on the sides.
Yeah.
Like kind of almost like a mystical looking.
Right. What do you think? A front of a T-shirt or a back of the T-shirt?
Probably on the front.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks. I think it would look better on the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, front.
Yeah. So it'll be cool. Yeah. The only time I see like where this will benefit on the back of like a piece of clothing if it was like a zip up hoodie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or it says Vampirella straight across the chest of it, and then and it has this in the back.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
stuff like that. So that's like as far as T-shirt, it look cool like as that.
Right. But I've noticed something about Sutton's art though from issue 1 all the way up to this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's improved. You know what I mean? Every time he's drawn, he's improved. Every time he's gotten into the books, he's improved. I think he's improved.
Yeah, I like his artwork. This one's like a little bit more detailed in the way it's sketched out and everything. So,
right.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
And then we get to Vampirella. We get to Adam Van Helsing and our blind man, our blind father Van Helsing.
Yeah, exactly. The two Van Helsing's Adam and and his father. So
yeah,
they're kind of like they're pretty much sensing Vampirella, so pretty much following her the whole time.
Right.
There as well. So
so it's interesting. It's been interesting, man. The storyline's been interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Being patient with me.
Hello.
Yeah, you're good.
Hello, Timmy.
Yeah. What's going on,
Mr. Dell?
Come on.
How is everybody doing?
Not bad. But what did you think, Tim? What did you think of the story?
Of which one? Which story?
The
Vampirella?
Yeah.
Oh, it was fun. Yeah. It was like a carnival, and she was hiding the book that has the spells to release the evil. What was the name of the villain? Hold on. I took notes.
Yeah.
Asmodeus. The
Asmodeus.
demon Asmodeus.
Yeah. But and then another big thing about issue 11 is not just the Frazetta cover, and I always wondered why it was so expensive. I
Yeah.
forgot it was an introduction to her one of her sidekicks.
Which one?
The not just the Van Helsings, it's the Van Helsing's. They got the
Adam Van
magician.
Helsing.
But Adam was in issue 8. That's when they got introduced.
Okay.
This one was the actual the magician, the drunk magician.
Oh,
Pendragon.
Pendragon. Pendragon. Yeah, the drunk magician. But it's kind of
you drunk magician. I don't know what you're talking about.
On the sauce.
Yeah.
You're saucy.
So what did
Right
you
on.
think? So what did you think of the story, Tim? Exactly.
You know, it's very verbose. I got to admit,
Mm.
I miss 70s writing. There is a lot of speech bubbles for this particular magazine. First off, it's a very long magazine. It's like 68 pages.
Right.
But yeah, I read the first 3 stories.
Okay.
I read the Vampirella story. I read the Escape,
Okay.
and then I read the what was it called? The Prisoner in the Pool.
Okay.
Those are the 3 stories that I read. But
Okay.
yeah, I really liked the story. I guess she was already carrying the book at the beginning of the story, and
Because she got the book from the previous issue. Like,
I see.
Yeah, so she got the book from the previous issue because it's the same writer. It's Sutton, Tom Sutton, and it's Archie Goodwin's the writer. So it's the same guy that wrote,
so
previous issue.
So these issues are all connected. Then it's not like one and done's.
No, I mean it can be one and done's, but they're semi like a little bit connected, like little things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Little minute things are connecting them, but they could be separate stories.
I got you.
Yeah. So very verbose, like me and Del have been saying, because it's back then. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like, hey,
sure.
There was
you're right. You're right in the action. There's not a lot of big, scenic views in this particular book. It's a lot of like, look at those panels that are right there. Look how close to the action you are.
Right. And this is This is Sutton's. This is Tom Sutton's artwork on that.
So let me ask you this: who killed Adam's mother? The one he was trying to get to on the other side of the carnival mirror.
I think it was Dracula.
That looked like Dracula.
Yeah.
Don't mention him by name.
What? Not yet, because we don't get introduced to Dracula until like, what was it? It was like it says issue. I forget. It was what was it? 18? No, not 18. 13 or 12.
Give me a few seconds here. I'll take a look.
So what the hell? We've got Vampirella supposedly fed on Adam's uncle because she fed on my uncle. She's the lifeblood of my uncle, or of my brother, your uncle. And then Dracula drank the blood of his mom. I'm like, man, boy, this family sure is
fucked up.
Cursed with vampires.
Yeah, but the funniest, the previous issue, we come to find out Dad has foresight. We come to find out Dad can foresight can see the future, kind of.
I see.
So Dracula, his first appearance in the Vampirella book is in issue 15, where he briefly appears in the Vampirella story.
Yeah,
and then the following issue it'll be where they had the first meeting.
So Tim and you found this then, because then he's actually, but he doesn't get mentioned by name, but we assume it's Dracula here.
It looks like Dracula. He's got a big ass flip up collar.
Yeah. Looks like the typical in the mirror where the Adam Van Helsing jumps into.
Right, but we can say it's like how people like to argue about 181 and 180. We can say this is Dracula's pretty much semi appearance, but he doesn't get mentioned. So would
Just
it be appearance?
like his cameo.
Yeah,
yeah. Which we all say the first cameo appearance we all look at as referring to the movies, but not comics.
Right. But it's just funny because you and Tim bring it up. It's like, hey, he has a pop-up collar. He looks like Dracula, but you don't mention the name Dracula at all. But he looks like it.
He looks like Dracula. Absolutely, he looks like Dracula.
So would it be, would it be a first appearance? Would it be, like I said, would it be like a 181 or a 180 thing type of thing where,
or you gotta find
with Spider-Man with Venom like 299 and 300.
right.
Which was really the first appearance.
Right.
It's 299, but
right.
We need to see if there's a reference again to Adam's mother being killed or being attacked by, the vampire, and see if they're referred to as Dracula or maybe just another vampire. Maybe he was just another old vampire who resembled Dracula.
Right. Or did he draw? Or is that supposed to be freaking Pendragon though? I'm wondering.
No, it's not Pendragon.
No, Pendragon is just a magician. Yeah.
No, yeah, I know. Pendragon's right here. This is Pendragon here. I'm just saying because sometimes when Sutton draws, man,
No, but it was pretty definitive on the image. Okay, that was a different person in that mirror.
Okay, because that's the part. I'm like, I got a little confused on that part. I'm like, huh?
Tim showing stickers.
Yeah.
I got my new monster stickers in.
Monsters, huh?
Got monsters. That's Carrie. Ooh. That's Carrie after she's been soaked with blood. And then, of course, hello, Danny. Come play with us, Danny.
Another Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some really cool stickers coming into the shop. Jeff, I've got something that you might like.
Uh-oh.
Yep. So these are more adult stickers that I'll be getting into the shop.
Good. The Gooner stickers.
Booby stickers.
Like I said, they're called the Gooner.
The Gooner stickers.
Gooner stickers. That's what they're called now. Gooners.
We're just trying to get more likes. Come on, guys, tune in. Give us some more likes. There you go. We're giving you what you want. Look at that. One last one. Look at that. There we go. And we just got demonetized.
Yeah. I'm not monetized yet, but we'll edit it later when I do get monetized. But so Tim, the preliminary, me and Del talked about it, but the preliminary of the Lady with Scythe cover came up in 2004.
Okay.
For the first time, and this is what it sold for the first time.
Wow, $2,800.
Yeah, so that's the first time it popped up. Then 9 years later, it popped up again. So 9 years later, it popped up again and it sold for $5,000.
Oh wow, so it doubled.
Yeah, hold on. It popped up a third time this year in March. You want to take a guess before I show you?
$8,000. Wow. Well, I was partially right.
Yeah.
There was an 8 in there.
Exactly.
Holy Moses.
Yeah, 18. So
no, that's a damn good investment.
Yeah. I know this guy is probably kicking himself in the ass. Like I told this guy's probably kicking himself in the ass. He couldn't keep it for longer. And then this guy is the one that sold it. So this guy is probably happy as hell that he went, hey, look, I invested this much, but I made this much. Oh, but Tim, you would know how much percentage they would take away on these things.
The auction fees, right?
Depending on the auction house. Each auction house has different fees.
Okay.
But they got paid.
Right.
Because I was originally guessing like roughly 10%. But I just looked online. It was like from what I saw, it said it's anywhere from 10 to 25%, depending on the auction house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whether or not, and that's just a percentage. There's probably also an entry fee
Oh, okay.
and a final value fee.
Oh, okay.
So they get you coming and going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So you could have won it for 18, but the guy that's getting the money probably got.
But even if it costs you $3,200 to sell it at the auction house, they
Right.
did a damn good job.
Right.
I still got $15,000 or close to $15,000
Right.
for letting that auction house, use their clients to reach out to sell it. So really and truly,
Right.
that's what you're paying for.
Right. I just thought it was funny because it came up like 3 times. I'm like, oh, because I thought it was it was showing the same one, but I looked at the date. I kept on looking at the dates. I'm like, oh crap, it's different dates. So it came up 2004, came up 2013, and then it came up again this year.
Did Frazetta himself ever sell that painting, or did Mom sell the painting, or did one of the kids sell the painting?
Actually, this painting was sold. It was sold to and it's in the personal collection, but I don't know where it's at. But
The
it's in
original
the
painting?
Yeah. So
But it must have sold originally from the artist, yeah.
Yeah, it sold for. I think Frank and them sold it, I believe. Sarah's been busy, so haven't been able to get back to me. But
oh, right on.
Yeah. So, but but what I've gathered and what I've researched, it's sold. But like I was telling Dell, in the 60s, he sold stuff at auction houses for, but like you said, minimum wage back then was not a lot, was not a lot. So
right.
But like the executioner painting sold for 800 at an auction house, like 800
right.
ish. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's a lot of money. Or I forget. I think issue number 5's painting back then sold for 1,200 back then.
Wow.
In the 60s. So, but that happens. You know what I mean? You got to sell stuff to keep stuff going, man. Keep the lights on.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that I wonder. So if I do a painting and then I offer that painting up for the cover of a magazine, does that mean I just sold the painting, or are they using the image of the painting to sell the magazine? Do I still obtain
because
the right?
He got the painting back.
Okay.
So he got every like the Vampirella one, he got that back, and he took the costume off of it and sold it that way, and sold it at auction that way. With no and I watched the San Diego with Sarah and what was it, Jimmy Palmiotti and a couple other people on this panel. Jimmy was there when this happened, when he actually took the outfit off of Vampirella. So Jimmy actually came up to the house at the time. Came up to the museum at the time. So he's told this story at the panel. And Sarah looked at him like, "You didn't stop him?" He goes, "It's your grandfather."
So was Vampy naked?
Pretty much. He took the whole red outfit straight off of her. So if whoever has it now, in the personal collection, has it nude. She's pretty much nude. But he offered to paint it back on her, but the guy didn't take him up on the offer. So so it's out there, and there's another painting out there by Forrest J. Ackerman. Had another artist paint it, but it's of her sister, of Draculina. So there is one out there of Draculina in the same pose.
I see.
Yeah. So there is one out there, but it's so when Forrest J passed away, his estate, that went up for auction. So nobody knows where that painting's at, because it was in his personal collection originally.
Of which one? The
The
cover?
yeah,
What was it?
the redo of the cover,
Oh, the
because
redo of the cover.
where Forrest J loved it so much, he had another artist do it of Draculina, draw it out as Draculina.
Give me a minute, guys.
Yeah. But what did you think of it so far, Dale? The story so far?
Oh, I like the story. The story's
Okay.
story's really good. It's stepping deeper. It's because it's progressing, because it's still connected to the previous story. With
Right.
the Van Helsing's
Right.
going after Vampirella, and it's still connected to the book, the Chronicles of to the Chronicles of Chaos. So
right.
so which is that's why I like it, because I like to kind of like see a progression.
But like I was telling Tim, it's little minute things that are connecting each issue pretty much, or each story. It's not
Right.
like it's not like you have to read it, because they already they'll explain it a little bit to you to
Right.
make sure you understand it. So it pretty much it does it with these guys now, with the Vampirellas now. It does the same thing kind of.
Yes, it kind of did that too. With there's one panel on here that
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
So like I was asking Dell, Tim, did
Pizza
you
Man was
enjoy?
here.
Did you enjoy the story?
The first one?
Yeah, the Vampirella one. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. It was fun.
Okay.
It was a fun story. Like I said, I really like the pencils. I like the sepia feel of the pencils, where lots of shadows,
right,
lots of grays.
Right.
It was really nice. I really enjoyed watching it. Like I said, it felt like I was up in the action, because there's so many close-ups in every panel.
And that's I noticed that's Sutton's style pretty much. Sutton does that with most of his issues. Yeah, and then Archie Goodwin was the writer. What did you think of the writing, Tim?
I've always loved Archie Goodwin's writing.
Okay.
He's an old school Marvel guy.
Okay.
I used to read his editorials in Marvel Age all the time, when Marvel Age was first done. Archie always seemed like a big, pleasant guy. I never got a chance to meet him, but the way Fred Hembeck used to draw him, he had glasses and a big bushy mustache. So I always thought that was cool, and I thought whenever I had a chance to possibly meet Archie, he would have this big old bushy mustache, and big old square frame glasses. But never got a chance to meet him and say thank you for all the great stories that he wrote over the past his past years of his life, because some of them were really engaging. He wrote a lot of different books through many different eras of Marvel.
Yeah, different books of Marvel, and then he wrote the first issue. Yeah, he wrote the Vampy, the first issue of
He wrote Vampy #1.
Yeah, he wrote. Yeah, he was Archie Goodwin and Sutton. Both of them were the people that. But how funny it is. Oh no, Forrest J. Ackerman was the writer. The Tom Sutton was the artist. That's what it was. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, but Archie start. But I think, like you said, I think Warren liked Archie's writing, because he used Archie for a while, not for a long while, until he started to get. Well, we find out next week. I'll explain more next week about how do we start getting the Spanish artists like Gonzalez, like Inridge, like St. Julian. That's going to be next week's episode, where I explain everything, how those guys actually got James Warren's door, pretty much how they found.
I got you.
Yeah. So, but I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. So, Tim, have you read any of the Vampy magazines before? Before this,
I perused through them, and of course, I read the Harris books.
Right.
but none of the black and white magazines. I never had a chance to really sit down and engage with those. But no. I did read the first issue.
Right. But
remember a few years back they did a
Yeah.
facsimile edition of #1?
Yeah.
I read
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
Okay. So you have read, so you and Theo have read issue 1 at least, both
Yeah.
before this, but you guys never actually read the black and white stuff previous to this. So
I never
So
had
that's
it
why-
in my collection.
right, but now, now when we do these, I can, we can do, I can do this with you guys, and I can send it to you guys, and you guys can actually see it and read it and stuff, and
Right on.
we can go over it and talk, talk about it, and then so let's get to that mirror.
Does that mean we're getting free comic books? It's hard to read on your phone.
Yeah.
You have to keep scrolling left and right, left and right, left and right.
Right.
Not easy. No left.
Yeah.
No,
not easy.
right. No left.
It's not easy. It's not easy being cheesy either.
Yeah. On that note, I'm having another piece of pizza.
Yeah. Oh yeah, here's the mirrors. Here's the mirrors and stuff.
What?
The mirrors.
Yeah, go back to that previous page.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. See?
So look at it closer, Jeff. So if you look at it closer, it looks like the way it looks like it's Dracula. So
yeah, but see, that's why I thought this was that's why I thought it was because if you look here at Pendragon, hold on, I'll show you the why I thought it was Pendragon at first, because it looks like Pendragon. It just put Pendragon's collar up here. You know what I mean? It looks like this is Pendragon here. So
this episode of Cantonese Comic Kid has been brought to you by A&W Root Beer. A&W Root Beer for refreshing crisp root beer flavored taste. You gotta get those, those vendors ready.
Yeah. when I get sponsored eventually. Yeah, but like I said, it looks because
is that the panel where he's looking through the mirror?
Yeah. So, actually, like, you guys are right, because I thought it was Pendragon, but you guys are right. I'm wrong. I thought it was Pendragon.
Well, why would Pendragon go after Adam's father?
Right, but
or Adam's mom.
Right. I didn't put 2 and 2 together until you guys said it. I'm like, I've read it. I read it twice so far. I read before this. When I got the book originally, and I always thought that was Pendragon. I didn't think of but they don't say it's Dracula. So
no, they don't.
But do we consider this one of his appearances though, or how like I said, 181, 180 type thing? But they don't say his name, so would it still count too?
Yeah, it just might not be something that you'd have to ask the writer. You would have to ask Archie Goodwin. Was that the intent of the story? Is that to introduce Dracula to this particular universe?
Right.
Maybe they couldn't use his name yet because Marvel still had the license.
Oh yeah, and plus we can't ask Archie right now. Archie gone.
Archie's gone.
Yeah.
God rest Archie Goodwin.
Yeah, and we can't really ask Archie. Then we would be able to say, that would be kind of actually. I think the other person that would probably what do you think? The other person that would really know anything would be Warren, wouldn't it? Do you think?
Maybe. No, look at Google. See if there's anything on Google for this particular issue and the synopsis of the storyline to see whether or not they refer.
Yeah, I already looked at it previously to before we did this. So that's why when you mentioned it and I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, I'm wondering, would this issue be like a 181, you know what I mean? 181 type deal, 181 and 180 type deal. Like I'm just kidding, I'm just thinking out loud, but now after us doing that, we might see that on Key Collector. If
well, I mean, it really wouldn't be a 180 181 deal because in 180 it says, "Hi, I'm Wolverine. Get the hell out of my way. I'm coming to keep."
Yeah.
This is more of a one of those strange little cameos where you don't know who that character is until later on when they say have a similar looking character being referred to as Dracula.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He just happens to be a vampire who seems to have a cape with a big high collar.
Right. And but if you deduce like we do, we're gonna say, hey, it's Dracula.
Hey, it must be Dracula.
Right.
It looks like Dracula.
Right.
Yeah, so we're just assuming it is because doing a quick little Google search, it doesn't really say anything that's
right.
Dracula.
Because I did the same thing. I looked at it previously before this. I looked at all the information and stuff. It doesn't mention anything, so it just mentions it as Frazetta, as for one of the last Frazetta covers, kind of, and then one of it, because the way they explain it is one of his last, like in pretty much quotations. Like it's not one of his last, but it's one of his last.
Right.
And then
if it looks like a fish and it smells like a fish,
it's a fish.
It's a duck.
No. It's a duck.
Or is it a duck? Is that how the euphemism goes?
If
it quacks like a duck.
If it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck, must be a duck.
Yeah. But I thought it was, I actually enjoyed this story. I really liked it. I really liked the Archie Goodwin, Tom Sutton stuff, and Tom Sutton's art. You know what I mean? So Tim, the one thing me and Dell's been doing is we grade the story and we grade the art.
Yeah.
So what are you grading the story and what are you grading the art?
Oh, let me see. The story had a couple of plot holes that I wish I would have had previous knowledge of, like where she was coming from. I mean, there it looks like she's coming from the swamp.
I'll send you the other issue, so it makes you.
But no, I get that, but it looks like Conrad and Adam Van Helsing were hunting Vampirella already for something else that she's done,
right.
And they were chasing her, and Adam actually gets close enough to put her out of her misery, but he ends up choosing not to. And he lets her go, but yet they continue to follow her into the carnival.
Yeah,
and I guess she's under the she's being drawn to the carnival because of the book, because of the what was he called? Asmodeus, the demon. The demon was the demon, summoning Vampirella because she had the book. Because the gentleman who owns Ashton, the Ashton Carnival, apparently he had half the demon already inside of him because of a previous incantation that they had done. So he was being called to the carnival, I suppose, because of the book, and the book was being summoned by Asmodeus. I mean, the story was very intriguing. Like I said, there's a lot to read here,
right?
And they do jump back and forth like 3 times in this story,
right?
I mean, they jump from.
That's what I noticed too. They jump back.
Yeah, first Pendragon gives his backstory, then they give the backstory, of Ashton and his carnival, and then of course we get the little backstory. It's just a little hint of a backstory of Adam's mom with what we believe is possibly a Dracula-like character. All in all, I'd like to give this story a solid B. I think the storytelling is very intricate. The art, of course, is always going to get an A from me. This art is absolutely gorgeous. This is the reason why horror is what it is today. And even the newer books, like the Creep Show books and the new Oni Press's EC line, they wish they can produce things that look as beautiful as this book.
No,
they're trying, but
they're trying.
This is an absolutely gorgeous book.
Yeah. So okay, Dale, what are you giving it?
Yeah, so I agree with Tim. It's like definitely because I I like this. With the Vampirella's portion story. The stories in the book so far is how it's been progressing.
Right.
I've been enjoying that storytelling because it's progressing to something.
Okay.
So that's why I've been enjoying a lot. And of course, character building, like the back and forth. I do enjoy the going back. Kind of going back and giving a history, a brief little touching on something. So I know where the connection. So definitely, to me, it's like a going along with B with Tim. Give it a B, or if we give it a number grade, I give it a solid 8.
8. Okay.
It's a solid 8. It's strong. It's a good story.
Right.
I like the artwork as well. So the artwork is Tim Sutton. I enjoy the artwork. Even going to the title page of the story.
Yeah.
Also, it's still very cool.
Right.
Would make a great poster as well.
Right.
Like we were saying earlier.
Yeah,
but it's a fun story so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. So
go to the last page of the Vampirella story, Jeff.
Okay, last page. It would be this one, right?
What does it say in that bottom left-hand corner? Who's narrating that goodbye?
It looks like actually one of the Van Helsings. It looks like what I can remember.
What does it say at the very bottom of the page?
Well, I have to pull it up on my end. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'll pull it on because the things are blocking it, so I really can't see.
Oh, I see. I got you.
Yeah, I can't see.
So the very bottom it says, "What manner of bat takes wing in the dawn light?" The obvious answer makes Adam Van Helsing wonder more at the uneasy path of vengeance he and his father tread, and how his feeling will affect their next encounter with the girl called the Vampirella.
Who's narrating that?
Yeah, I'm wondering.
This is Vampirella's book. I thought Vampirella should be narrating. That's not Vampirella narrating that.
No. I'm wondering if it's Pendragon. Oh, maybe it's Pendragon. Maybe.
No, I think it's just Archie Goodwin.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, exactly. It's just like Archie, like the writer narrating it.
Right. No, writer narrating. Yeah.
It's a writer narration leading into the next story.
Right. Definitely. Yeah. I got you. Leading us to next week's.
Stay tuned next month for the next Vampirella story.
Stay tuned. Yeah. Oh well, stay tuned next week for us.
The next story in the book, however, The Escape. Who liked this story?
I actually enjoyed it. I liked it. I really did.
Actually, I didn't read the story. I just browsed through the artwork. Just kind of looked at the artwork.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
This one was a really good story. This one was a pretty decent story too. Focusing on a intergalactic thief. Her name is Celine.
Right.
And she gets into a time bubble, and she goes back to the old Victorian days of England, and she ends up in a dark alley, encountering one of literature's and one of history's darkest, most evil creatures ever to roam the night.
Yeah.
Jack the Ripper.
Yep.
And I thought that was really cool how they took a futuristic story from, what was it, 2547 AD, and we went all the way back, to the Jack the Ripper days in the 1800s. Yeah.
So what did you think of what is it? LM's art, what the hell is it?
Roca.
LM Roca's art, and then Larry Henderson. Herndon's writing.
I've seen his artwork before. It's very reminiscent of, but it's got that 70s culture. Man, does it have that 70s feel?
Right.
It's like watching Fantastic Four. Right. It's got that throwback architecture. Yeah. It's got the bubbles. I mean, if you really want to look at the Fantastic Four movie and see where inspiration came from, I mean, there's some of these artwork here is just kind of cool.
Yeah.
Those hallways that seem to go on forever. The the RoboCops.
Right. Tim, I wouldn't doubt it. A lot of these guys, a lot of these guys that are producing movies now probably had these things when they were kids.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't.
But it was the 70s. The 70s always thought, they always thought that the future was going to look like this. If you look at the Jetsons cartoon, and then what the Fantastic Four, they're just throwing the Fantastic Four movie that was just released. It was like throwback to what people thought the future was going to look like back in the 70s.
Right.
But my favorite story was the third story in the book.
This one.
Yes. Prisoner in the Pool.
Prisoner in the Pool. Yeah,
because
I know why
back
Tim
to ancient Greece.
Yeah, I had a feeling that's the main reason. Huh.
1,200 years before Christ, Thiberon, the Dorian, engages a woman who seems to be stuck in a wading pond, and he can't approach her or save her from the pond because there's been a magic spell that has captured her in the pond from the waist up, exposing her beauty to all to see. And apparently Kranos, one of her supposed husbands to be, is the person who trapped her there because he was apparently a very ugly man and she refused to marry him. So he trapped her in the lake, and she actually convinces Thiberon, the Dorian, who is I guess he is a like a Spartan Roman. You see him right there on the front page. She says, "You can have me if you can find a way to release me, and I'll do whatever you're bidding." And it's very fun how he kind of plays with her, and says, I think I'm capable of doing the task at hand. And suddenly he knows that he needs these two keys to release her, these two little keys to release her from this spell, this enchantment that she's been cast upon her from the lake.
Right.
And he goes and he fights a gentleman who lives out in the woods, and he thought that he's a small little man, but he turns out to be an 8-foot giant, and he battles the 8-foot giant, and he gets the upper hand with his steel tasting his blood, and he gets the first key. And then he goes off to get the second key, which is tied around the neck of a griffin, which is a half bird, half lion, and with that's a flightless body, or flight with wings on his body. There he goes, right there. And almost loses. Actually, he drops his sword, drops his shield. The talons get dug into his flesh, and if it wasn't for his trusty little hidden dagger getting the griffin in the throat, he would have been griffin dinner. But he ends up going back to the lake with both keys, and he tells her, says, "I have done thy bidding, and now I wish to have you." And she goes, "Only if you can catch me." And he goes, "Oh, a woman outrun me? Never." But of course, as soon as he releases her from the lake, it turns out that she is a centaur, half woman, half horse. And she goes running off into the arms of her lover. But, and here's the twist. You think that's just one twist? Here's the big twist. This gentleman actually happens to be a god, and he is Hermes. Hermes is his father, and Hermes is, of course, the god of speed, and like Mercury. And he ends up beating her to the top of the mountain where her lover has been slain by him, and now she is stuck doing his bidding. I still am quite interested to see how he will do her bidding.
Right.
Because she is half horse.
So what did you think of the art? What did you think of the art, and what did you think of this story? I know you really like it. Sounds like you really liked the story.
I like this story because it was fun and cheesy, and it was very much filled with a lot of machismo. And this reminded me of some early John Byrne art. The art was a little cartoony, And of course, the hair was always perfectly in the way of showing off any of her attributes. Um, and all I could say is that this gentleman looks like he's going to need a stool. I guess he's going to take her for a hell of a ride.
Right.
Because Mr. Thiberon, the Dorian, still wishes to, I guess, have her. And it's just fun. It's just a fun. I love Greek architecture. I love Greek armor.
Right.
Any kind of Roman armor or the
Right.
beards, the old. I don't know if you guys ever watched the old Hercules movies with
Yeah.
Yeah.
with Steve Reeves back in the day. Those were just awesome. They were called Sand and Saddle movies, where Hercules always had this great beard and curly Greek hair, and what you can tell is like a dark tan. It was in black and white, but he was always darker than the white folk. Um, And what's cool about that is a lot of people don't realize is that Steve Reeves, the gentleman who played probably the best Hercules of all, lived right here in the state of Florida.
Yeah. That's good. That's cool. That's cool to know.
Yeah. So Herculean, any kind of Greek mythology. I love stories like this, and they're very fun. They're very enjoyable.
What?
And it was quick. There was not a lot of
Right.
word balloons. Look, it's much
Right.
easier to read. And
Right.
the plot
Then
of
the
the story.
Vampirella. Yeah. Then the Vampirella
Yeah.
stuff. It was a lot of word balloons.
Yeah, I kind of like if you want to talk about those type of movies. I always like Charles Heston, from those type of movies. Like, if you go back and take Commandments and all that. Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, they were just so much fun. I remember just waking up Saturday mornings to watch cartoons, and then after the cartoons came Creature Feature with Dr. Paul Bearer, and then after Dr. Paul Bearer came the afternoon movie, and the afternoon movie was usually either a Johnny Westmuller Tarzan film or a Steve Reeves period piece, or it might even be a British, a period piece. It was just a great time to live on Saturdays, and being able to absorb all of that content because you had nothing else to do, and
Right.
Saturdays was your days to rest because every day you came home from school, Monday through Friday, you weren't even allowed to stay in the house. Your mom and your dad would say, "Get the hell out of the house," and you'd be playing out on the street until the street lights came back on. And then that's when you had to come home and you'd eat dinner, take a bath, do your homework, and then go to bed. So Saturdays was just pajama day, man. You just sat around the house. If you got to go somewhere, that's great. A movie day. We didn't have a lot of video games. We didn't start getting those until maybe the early 80s.
Right.
But all through the 70s, things like this is what entertained me. My comic books entertained me. And this was definitely a story that I would have gravitated to.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed it too. I really liked it. Like you said, I like that Greek mythology type stuff like you do. So kind of too. So,
Oh yeah.
So it's always caught my attention. Yeah. So I've always liked that stuff. Yeah, you know what I mean? And then
I remember I was in sixth grade when I read the the Trials of Hercules. The Labors of Hercules. What a great book.
Remember. Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, I remember all the labors and stuff. Never read the book.
I didn't read the story, but I just kind of browsed through the artwork. I thought the artwork is pretty cool.
Yeah. It's all the artwork's always gonna be great. Like Tim says, artwork's always gonna be good. You know what I mean? Story wise, on the other words, sometimes they're like you said, plot holes. That's the problem I noticed.
Yeah. But these are short little vignettes. These are little 7-page stories that are meant to, spur the imagination and just kind of get you, thinking. But I could imagine myself being a, 9-year-old boy reading this particular magazine and seeing this half-naked woman sticking out of a lake. It definitely would have caught my attention. Not sounding
Right.
like a sexist, but that's the absolute truth. You know,
Right.
so
Right.
they knew what they were aiming for. They knew what audience they were aiming for.
Right. Right.
You know, the younger audience, you know, the preteen or teen
Right.
or you know, junior high, you know, school audience. That I mean, look at that artwork. Wow,
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
that. Look at those
Yeah.
eyes. That's
Yeah.
almost photogenic real.
What it looks like? It looks like what from my end, Tim. What I can see on my side, this one looks more like water paints, almost like
It
wash.
does.
It
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
more like wash more than any. And I and you know how I am. I like that type of style of art, anyways. So that's more my more my style that I like.
I did not get to this story, but now that I see the artwork, it makes me want to go back and finish the book. I mean, I got 2/3 of the way through the book, but I had a really
Yeah, yeah,
busy
yeah.
day, guys.
No,
I
you're
had a
good.
really busy week. I had a
No,
really good
no,
week.
no worries, Tim. All you really have to do is pretty much go over the Vampirella story. That's pretty much the story we go
Right
over
on.
all the time. But if you want to go over the other ones, that's fine too, and then we can talk about the other ones too. It's just I know these books kind of since I picked it up. I haven't looked through them since I picked them up. Sometimes, you know what I mean?
So
No.
there's a Frazetta photo. There's a Frazetta piece of art in the letter column in the first 3 pages of the book,
Yeah.
where a gentleman wrote in saying that this artwork reminded him of a woman that he works with named Linda, and they were like, "Well, please send in a picture of this woman named Linda. We'd love to see a full body shot
This
of
one.
her."
This one right
I
here.
thought that
Yeah.
was there. It is right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look to the right of that photograph, it speaks upon this gentleman who
Yeah.
says, "Man, this one reminds me of a friend of mine named Linda."
And I always liked the letter columns. The letter columns are always fun
Oh,
because
absolutely.
you because a lot of up and coming writers wrote to them. I didn't know that, and then
Sure.
because I read the previous issues. They said you'd be surprised of how many up and coming writers used to write to the magazine and stuff like that. I found out a lot of history about it, and I thought it was interesting.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, but Frazetta did did pencil sketches, a couple pencil sketches of her. So there are a couple of them in a couple of Vampirella issues, and then there's a couple that they're not sure if it's him or not because he didn't actually sign the
The
Frazetta on
sketch.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't sign the sketch, so people aren't sure, but they believe it is him, but they're not sure.
See,
Like the one,
where
like this one here on this corner is because it belongs to another piece of artwork. The one the one story that we read here, this one right here. They think this is his too.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, so they think this little piece is him too.
They should get the feminists out there. Go back to that one picture, Jeff, the one that we were looking at in the letter column.
Letter column. Hold on.
Yep, the letter column picture.
Yeah, I'll go right back up there real quick. Letter column. Is it that? Nope. Yep, that is right here. Yeah.
That one right there. The feminists should get out there and start saying that women can't sit like that. Instead of going after J. Scott Campbell, let them come after Frank Frazetta. Women can also, that's humanly impossible to sit like that.
Oh yeah, they are going. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they went after J. Scott Campbell with the Mary Jane Watson cover.
Oh yeah,
Where she's sitting on the sofa with her cup of coffee.
Right. Yeah, but that's this ain't. I mean, it's the same idea. It's just, but it's still not. You know what I mean? It's
no, darn it! I want controversy. I want the feminists to go after this photograph. I want this video to blow up to a million views.
It will eventually. It's getting there.
Jeff, you don't sound very enthusiastic.
Because anytime I do stuff I like, it seems not to go my way sometimes. Yeah. But
we've got to create the controversy.
Yeah, but the biggest this one, the green plague, is actually based off of the painting. So it's
Okay.
actually it's a loose it's a how did they say it? It's a loose interpretation of the painting because
I got you.
she's more clothed in this, but it's pretty much
Right.
talking about this lady that comes to gets rescued by damsel in distress type thing, gets rescued, but the guy's scythe he's on a farm, his scythe breaks or his scythe doesn't work, so he sees that she has one, uses her scythe, come to find out she's actually death.
Okay.
Yeah, so some shenanigans ensues,
Uh-huh.
and she goes, we don't have men where I come from,
Oh,
not men that look as pretty as you.
no.
Yeah, so all kinds of stuff and all kinds of weird stuff starts happening. Yeah, and that's pretty much it about that story, man.
Are,
But
are those
yeah,
the
it's not
children of the corn,
pretty much.
or or
This is a
Village of
whole
the
different.
Damned? Those are the children from Village of the Damned. That would track right, because that would be the same era and the same
Right,
year that these kids that those kids were drawn.
right,
Children of the Damned came out then too, and yeah, that's
right.
oof. Or Village of the Damned. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, it's story's great, man. Uh, plot wise, like you said, a little bit of plot holes. So, all right, Tim, we'll give the whole book a overall grade. I'll go back to the front, and we'll
Well,
give
I
the
still have two
overall.
more stories to read, so I really can't do that, Jeff. I'm gonna have
Well,
to say I can't do that to you.
then, then what do you think?
Controversy, Jeff.
Gotcha.
Controversy.
So, all right. So overall, what did we think of the whole book?
Well, since I
Overall,
just
Well,
what did we think of
I
the Vampirella story in general? But
the Vampirella story, like I said earlier, it was a good story. It's leading to something because it's building. It's because it's kind of piggybacking off of the previous magazine that had the story. So it's building to something, and to me, that's what's important. As long as it's leading to something,
right,
and it is keeping me a little bit engaged because it's surrounding Vampirella, the book,
right,
and the Van Helsing's chasing her. They still think she's a vampire from Earth, and not really knowing that she's a vampire from another planet. So and it's leading to something. So overall, like I said, I still stick to my original thing.
right.
It's a good story.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
and then I know Tim enjoyed it. I know you. I enjoyed it. You guys both gave it. Pretty much A's and B's. Pretty much. I give it a solid B, solid B. But art wise, A for sure. But story wise, it's a solid B.
I think this book represents, the period in which it was produced.
Right,
It's
right,
indicative of the times.
right,
It's a beautifully fantastical,
right,
stories of scantily clad women and heroic men,
right, right,
um, who have just real simple objectives to
right.
defeat evil, to define what
It's
evil is.
Yeah, it's not as complicated as stories now. You know what I mean? There's not like, but you know what I mean, Tim. There's
It's
not
not
as
unnecessarily
right,
complicated as
right,
stories
right,
are now.
right,
It's very cut and dry, and I think the
right,
artwork tells the story more than the dialogue.
right, right,
It is just beautiful to look at. I can stare at
right,
these pages all day.
right.
And look at
I'm
that
the
cover.
same way. Yeah, I'm the same way. Cover wise, one of his most famous paintings, pretty much because they want to. You've seen it on Vans. You've seen it on right now. This generation's gonna know this painting for is the Supreme collab what Sarah did with the Supreme brand with the streetwear brand is what they're gonna know
I
this one.
see.
Yeah,
Well,
the
that's your death lady right there with her scythe, right?
yeah.
From the
So
Green
lady
Death,
with
yeah.
scythe. Yeah, lady with scythe. So
Yeah.
woman, actually no, it's not lady, it's woman with scythe. That's what it is. It's
Woman with sight. Okay.
Yeah, it's woman with scythe. But yeah, it's I mean it's great. Honestly, but I'm glad he didn't go with his original what he wanted it originally to look like, because he originally wanted her with a skull. But we know what now, we know why, because it's actually death. You know what I mean?
Right.
It would have made sense. But I'm glad he went pretty. I'm glad he went pretty instead of, instead of
Sure.
like this, like what it was originally supposed to look like. So,
Well, if you get a look at the current painting, you can almost like the cover here. You can almost kind of see almost a skull-like imprint over the face. If you really look at
right, he probably painted it like Sarah like Sarah said, he liked to repaint stuff on the same painting. Like probably if
let's take a step forward and say, wow, did Neil Gaiman and Sam Keith, when they first created Sandman,
right,
okay, did they get for death?
Right.
With the pale white skin and the dark cloak.
Right.
I mean, was there an influence here?
I mean,
look at her.
I wouldn't be surprised, Tim. I wouldn't be surprised, because Neil probably got this, over there in England, where at the time, so Pence by Pence,
or how about did Brian Polito from Chaos Comics, did Lady Death spur from this particular painting?
That would be kind of cool to ask Brian himself. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
What in the, did Frazetta inspire Lady Death for you, or but he won't be the one to ask, because the one to ask would have been Stephen Hughes, because he's the one that drew her too.
So. Yeah, absolutely.
He would have been the one.
Yeah, because the only reason I even say that the face of this character of this painting, it looks like kind of a skull, because just based off of the shadowing, right? A white face and then a shadowing on the cheeks. It's like, okay, it's like I get it. It's supposed to be like death-like.
I'm wondering if you took something like if you actually scraped off the face off her face, and would this come up? Would this be on below it? You know what I mean? I'm wondering if, because he loved to repaint stuff on top of
absolutely painting. Yeah, if you were to restore the painting to the original brushstrokes underneath,
right?
There are people who can do that. It's very tedious, but why?
I'm just curious if under this thing, if it actually looked like that, if it actually looked like this,
I mean, I remember a story that someone found a painting that had somebody had reused the canvas on top of a Vincent van Gogh painting.
Right.
And they didn't realize that it was on top of it, and they had that entire top coating removed to reveal the Van Gogh that was underneath it. If I remember, it was another prominent artist. It was Van Gogh, or maybe even one of the Renaissance artists. But I remember someone finding a painting that had a painting underneath the painting that they had purchased.
The funniest thing I've learned about a lot of these artists, Tim, about Frazetta, about Gonzalez, about all the guys that have super talented, they hated it. They hated drawing. They hated doing it. They didn't hate it, but they knew they had the talent, but they just didn't, you know what I mean? Didn't, if they could do something else, they would rather do something else. They wouldn't, because like Sarah said, it's their job. That's the main reason. But
yeah, but I mean, I don't think Frank would have envisioned three nerds on StreamYard talking about his work, decades after he's passed. I don't think that's what he had intended.
Right.
But to him it was just a paycheck, maybe.
Who you calling?
Sorry about that, Del.
Who you calling a nerd?
But I think you guys get my drift when I say that, because I don't think that's what he had planned to do. But it just goes to show you that the art outlives the artist, and he'll probably be studied for centuries to come.
Right.
And that's the reason why we're seeing increases on his works coming up at auction.
Right. Like how it increased from when it originally came. You know what I mean? When 2004, he was still around, Tim, because he
Yeah,
didn't pass
okay.
until 2010. So,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
2013 it popped up again. So, and then you know what I mean. And then this year it popped up again. So it's like,
Right.
you know what I mean. So it's not a surprise. Well, a lot of people are finding out about him, you know, through all the work Sarah's doing, man. Like the icon collectibles, the all the Frazetta girl stuff that she's doing, that she's actually keeping, his legacy going
Right.
alive. Well, since I brought up legacy icon collectibles, Dell actually has something to unbox for us.
Ooh.
The Conan.
What do we got there? Conan.
Conan. The
We'll
Conan
we'll
figure.
make it bigger to Dell so you can unbox it.
The Conan figure came in. It actually came in a couple weeks ago.
So yeah, so he did the thing I did. He picked up two, I picked up the Vampy.
Yeah, I got two of them.
Dos tres.
So far, the artwork, the box, just the box art alone, I think is very cool. So you can see here, Conan. There's a side panel of it right there too, which is actually of the figure itself. Then the backside, of course, showing the figure, the hands, the other head, the weapons. Very cool. I like the box on it. Looks like they really did take their time. So it's the other panel. Of course,
I like the font. I like the Conan font that they used. So classic novel font.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very cool. Very classic.
Trust me, Sarah worked on this. Worked on that figure. Worked on these figures for a long time.
So, yeah, which is very cool. Even this is more like kind of like a metallic.
Hold on. I got Timco.
that's from the late 70s, early 80s. So that one's the predating one. That one's from the early 70s font,
yeah.
Maybe even 60s.
Yeah, I like this metallic, almost kind of like a metallic gray silver going on here.
Oh yeah, that's very pretty.
Very nice. This opens up too to display the figure itself. So you have the window right there with the figure, and then of course you got the panel right here.
Yeah, so like the neck of figures, because
exactly like the NECA figures and stuff like that, like your Vampirella opens up. So it's very cool. So it shows the bottom Conan right there. Now, go open it up here. To break it open from the box. It's very cool.
I'll be right back, guys. Right. I gotta go do something real quick.
Oh, now it's worthless, Del. Now you can sell it to me. I'll give you $1 for it.
Give me $1. So open it up. It's worth nothing. I paid $70 for this thing, and now it's worth nothing.
It's worth $1. Ooh, look at that.
Got a little card.
Frazetta card.
Let's go a little talk about joint care on the.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's very cool. Actually, the box did come with the sticker. I don't know what I did with it, but it did come with a sticker. Also, like kind of like a Frazetta icon sticker. Very cool. They actually looks like Sarah Frazetta's taking a lot of working really hard to put out some quality stuff out there too.
Sure. Yeah, well, it has an $80 price tag. Yeah.
Yeah. $70 price tag on it. So here it is. And
nice. Double bubbled.
Yeah, double bubbled. Yes, it is double bubbled. Double bubble.
Yeah.
Toil and trouble.
Nice.
There it is. And
release it from its plastic prison. Oh, look at the skin tone on that.
Very pretty. Very pretty. Got a little the figure itself.
Yeah.
So
what's under that loincloth, Conan? Oh yeah. Is that a floating belt for his scabbard for his sword?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's a belt that could attach his sword.
All right.
Yeah, so
is it a very heavy figure? Is there some girth, some weight to it?
But the same as like in any other figure, it's like about It's
7 inches tall.
yeah, about 7. It's about 7 inches tall or so. But you're
He
the
should
same
he
way.
should be bigger than he's bigger than Dark Wolf, the first figure that they did.
Yeah,
So he's bigger. Yeah, he's bigger.
but yeah, moves pretty well. So
Got his long black hair.
yeah, long black hair. There's that kind of.
There's
moves around
different heads, right, or no?
Yes, there's a different head too. It's head without the hair, but then you get that got a little helmet you put on it.
Yeah.
So it's a head. So
Right.
here's a head, and of course has a little hole.
Right.
Little peg.
He's got his spirit magic helmet. His spirit magic helmet.
What's that? Guys
Guys know what that's from?
I'm trying to think.
That was from Looney Tunes. When it's a very famous episode of Looney Tunes where Bugs Bunny gets chased by Elmer Fudd into an opera, and he gets his spirit magic helmet.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
And here's the sword, Conan sword.
Ooh, nice. That came out nice and smooth.
Yeah, it came out pretty smooth. It curves into it. Got a little chain deal going on here. Of course, it has the big battle axe.
Right on.
Battle axe is probably about 2 inches, a little 2.5 inches or so. Of course, it has the.
That's a pretty big battle axe, but not as big as my ex-wife.
Yeah, exactly. Then I got the other axe here too. Of course, some set of hands. Two. So, there's like two. There's like three. So if you count the hands, the other hand fell on the floor somewhere, but it's like 3 sets of hands, including the set of hands on the figure.
That's a lot of set of hands. Three sets of hands, huh?
3 sets of hands, and then this is for to put on the wrist. So it's good.
Well, Conan is handy to have around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, indeed. Yeah. So overall, I think it's a very cool figure. Yeah, very nice figure. I think the quality of it's cool. Very nice. The coloring, the
skin tone looks phenomenal.
Yeah, the skin tone looks very nice.
Trust me, Tim. She worked on this a lot.
Yeah. So
she made sure it looked good.
Yeah, the articulation is pretty good too. So it bends at the elbow pretty nice. I know Jeffrey, you were talking about Vampirella, how it was kind of weird, bent at the elbow, kind of weird.
Right. Not the elbow. Really, the shoulder part is the weird part. Yeah, where you can't lift her shoulder up.
That's what.
Is it a single elbow or double elbow?
Single elbow.
Single elbow.
Yes, single elbow. So.
Yeah, both of them are single elbows. Even the Vampy's a single elbow, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I got Vampy up here anyway. I can pull her out too.
No, but the knees are double.
That's a double elbow. Yeah.
Knees,
that's a double knee.
Yeah, double knee. So the knees are set up that way, but not the elbows on the arms.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but the knees are. So, but it's
got some laps on them.
Yeah, exactly. No, it looks good. Yeah, it looks very nice.
It's a hefty figure though, because it's bigger than Dark Wolf. I know that much.
Yeah, but it's a cool figure. I'm definitely happy with what I bought here. So definitely have a loose one. Oh, I forgot to show there's a shield too.
The spirit magic helmet.
The spirit magic shield.
And that's why I bought this, because I was a fan of the Conan movies. The Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer, of course, because I'm a fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, we all are. We all are a fan of the Arnold.
I'm gonna have to find my Conan toys from Galoob. Back when they had the animated series on Conan the Adventurer.
Yeah, Conan's my. I'm a fan of. Actually, there was a dagger that fell on the ground too.
Yeah.
But it's also. It's just like I'm a fan of I'm a fan of the Governator, because I'm from California and he was a governor. Everybody called
Yeah.
him the Governor. So
But
I definitely like a fan of
You're,
Arnold.
you're, you're a fan of big, half-naked muscle men.
Yes, exactly. Well, yeah. Remember who else? I got to meet earlier in the year?
yeah, Luke Ferrigno.
Lou Ferrigno. Good old Lou.
Yeah,
Got to meet Lou. Big Lou.
yeah,
Got to meet Big Lou. So
yeah, Luke Ferrigno. But
happy.
You know what
Yeah,
I've
but-
always wanted to ask Lou Ferrigno?
what's that?
I wanted to ask him, is it true when they say it isn't easy being green?
he,
Yeah.
but he wanted he actually wanted to buy the Ace fist, the fist,
Yeah, so-
the Hulk fist.
Yeah, so
Oh.
Acme Superstore had this giant green Hulk fist coming out the wall. Probably it's giant. It's probably protruding out of the wall, probably at least a couple feet. But it's so it's a giant. And the fist probably happen to be like probably 2 feet wide and probably like a foot tall, just stick out the wall like that. So he goes to Jeff and I had seen him like break away from the table for a minute as the owner was floating around the store. Yeah, you can see him like pointing. He was asking about the fist,
About the fist.
He was going to wanting to buy it.
He wanted to buy it. That's what the owner told me. He wanted to buy. He actually told he wanted to buy it. I think.
Yeah,
That's what the owner told me.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting. That Big Lou Ferrigno wanted to buy the fist. So
They didn't sell it to him?
No.
Oh,
Because I think you could tell that fist had been there for a while because it had a lot
They didn't even dust it off.
Yeah,
it was a lot of dust.
It was like a lot of the things that they had hanging on the wall from the ceiling had a lot of dust. So you could tell I think it's been there for a while. Yeah. So, but it was interesting. But yeah. But no, it's like I give it as far as this figure. My hats off to Sarah Frazetta and really trying to keep the family name and the legacy going here. So big props on the figure. My review, I give this figure very very high grade. Give it a 10 because just with everything, the articulation, all the different sets of hands, the heads, and everything. It's a great figure. I enjoy the figure a lot. There's a reason why I bought two, so I could have one opened up and to display it, and to have one just sitting in the box. Also, yeah, it's one of the few figures
that's what a collector does.
Yeah, because it's like I don't have many toys. Once I finish one day while we do one of these shows, once I finish setting up my room, redoing my room and set up a few toys that I have, you'll see that I don't have many toys.
Right.
Set up, so
I don't got many toys. I just got a lot of Vampirella stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can beat you, Del. I got a figure here that it's one of my pride and joy. It's my new My Little Pony figure. I don't know if you've ever seen my Little Pony figure. He's a unicorn. He's a unicorn. See, look at him. He's My Little Pony, My Little Pony. He's a unicorn. If you pull his feet apart, you could make a wish. See, look at that. Make a wish.
He's a wishbone.
Exactly. So,
what are you doing there, unicorn? What are you doing there? That's not appropriate. Get off the show. I got to put him away.
What's going on?
Hey, it's Anthony. Hello, Anthony.
Anthony, finally somebody.
Yeah, but that's all we got, guys. But we'll see you guys next week for another Vampy Book Club. If you guys liked it, hit a like, hit subscribe. You guys know the drill. And then if you guys are ever in the Tampa Bay area, go to We Love Comics, Tim's comic shop.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We Love Comics in Tampa. Definitely a great shop to go to. I'm a sub there, so is Jeff. Great.
If you got any type of questions about anything, Tim knows his stuff.
All right, guys, listen up. I'm going to say this once, and we're going to say this once real quick. for anyone who leaves comments down below in any of Jeff's videos, I'm going to allow Jeff to pick one lucky winner a month to come spend a $20 gift certificate right here at We Love Comics. So leave a comment down below and get your chance, or make it available for you to win a $20 gift certificate right here at We Love Comics. You can buy a new comic. You can buy a trade paperback. You can buy a nice run of Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man, maybe even some early horror like Crypt of Shadows and Journey into Mystery, or you can be like Dell and just Hulk out, because that's what he loves the best. Look at all these beautiful 70s comic books that we have, and we even have some beautiful black and white magazines, all of these epics and Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. And look, we even have a Punisher appearance right here. Yeah, and Doc Savage. We got some great comic books here, guys. So make a comment down below, and then Jeff will pick some lucky winner from the entire month, and they'll be able to come in and get $20 of merchandise right here from We Love Comics. Ain't that right, Jeff?
Yes, it is. And you guys heard it. So make sure to leave a comment. Make sure to leave a like. And I'll be choosing one at the end of the month. So
You
guys
got it.
Yeah, you guys have got to watch and got to leave a comment.
Look at that guy right there. See that? If anybody remembers what that is, there you go. Leave a comment down below. Take a guess. What is that?
Yeah.
What is that? That's
what are
right.
So, guys, if you guys enjoyed it, leave a comment, leave a like, and I will see you guys next week for issue 12 of the Vampirella Book Club. And we're signing out, guys. We're checking.
Hang loose.
Peace out.